Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Curse of Oak Island finds gold by the garden shaft. The Curse of Oak Island finally struck some gold on the island by the garden shaft. However, along with the finding of the gold, there was more frustration for the team in their search for hidden treasure. Here is a look at what they found and what it means. Curse of Oak Island doesn't find tunnels underground. On the new episode of The Curse of Oak Island, the team has found some gold. This happened by the garden shaft, which wasn't as much of a surprise as one might think. When testing the water from the garden shaft earlier this season, they found traces of gold in the water. This was determined to be more gold than just random flakes, telling the team there was possibly a large cache of gold in the area. This caused the team to hire an excavation team called the Dumas Mining Company to dig down into the garden shaft. They were looking for possible hidden chambers underground. There was a long delay as Canada demanded that the team gained the proper permits for mining operations. However, they got the permits and Dumas began digging into the ground on Oak Island. This is when the team found some gold. However, there was also bad news. After Dumas dug down 120 feet, they didn't find any voids or tunnels. This meant they are not there or they misjudged where they were digging. Dumas drilled into all four walls of the garden shaft at 55 feet and found nothing. The Curse of Oak Island does find gold, however. As aforementioned, they didn't find tunnels, but they did find gold. Metallurgy expert Emma Culligan revealed that they found a lot of gold. She said that 0.11% of the wood was gold. Geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner said that was huge, and Emma agreed that there was a lot of gold in that dig. While it was exciting to find gold in the dirt and wood, Spooner said that they needed to keep digging and taking samples so they could find the actual treasure itself. However, the question now is whether this is gold from a hidden treasure like Rick and Marty Lagina believe. There is always a chance that it could just be gold in the ground, as shows like Gold Rush have proven time and time again. It could deliver a lot of money to help further exploration, but Spooner and the Lagana brothers would prefer it to be gold from the actual mythical treasure on Oak Island. The garden shaft had always been a point of fascination on Oak Island. Nestled among the trees and obscured by decades of sediment, it was as mysterious as the legends that surrounded the island itself. For generations, treasure hunters had come and gone, many leaving empty-handed and broken in spirit. Yet, hope never died. Each excavation, each discovery, whether a rusty nail or a centuries-old parchment fragment, stoked the flames of curiosity, keeping alive the dream that something more significant lay beneath the island's rocky soil. As the Oak Island team gathered around the shaft on this crisp autumn morning, there was an air of both cautious optimism and urgency. The garden shaft, which had been worked on and abandoned by previous searchers, had recently drawn attention again due to a series of anomalies detected deep underground. With the success of modern drilling and scanning technologies, it became clear that there was something down there, something metal. "All right guys," Rick Lagina said, breaking the silence. His voice was steady, but there was a gleam in his eyes that betrayed his excitement. "We're going deeper into the garden shaft. Today might be the day." Beside him, Marty Lagina nodded, equally resolute. The rest of the team, including Craig Tester, Alex Lagina, and Gary Drayton, stood poised to act. Gary, gripping his metal detector like an extension of his own arm, was the first to speak up. "Let's get that baby hummin'," he said with his trademark grin. "We might just be hitting the jackpot today." The machinery roared to life as the team began the painstaking process of excavating deeper into the garden shaft. Dirt and debris flew into the air as the dig progressed, each layer peeled back with a sense of anticipation. With each passing hour, the team became more engrossed in their work, pausing occasionally to reassess, recheck, and refocus. A sudden, almost imperceptible clink echoed through the chamber as the team dug deeper into the shaft. Gary, who had been sweeping his metal detector in wide arcs over the freshly turned soil, froze. The sound was unmistakable. The detector's high-pitched squeal was the unmistakable cry of gold. "Whoa, whoa, stop right there," Gary shouted, his voice thick with excitement. The rest of the crew turned toward him in unison, hearts pounding. "I'm tellin' ya, we've got something big down here." The excavation came to an abrupt halt as everyone crowded around Gary's discovery. He bent down, brushing away dirt with his gloved hands, revealing a glimmer of something metallic beneath the soil. Slowly, almost reverently, he pulled it out. A golden coin, its surface weathered but unmistakably valuable. "Holy smokes!" Marty exclaimed, his eyes widening as the coin caught the light. "Is that what I think it is?" Gary handed it to him with a grin. "Aye, mate. That's gold. And from the looks of it, we're just scratching the surface." The team erupted into a flurry of excited activity. Rick held the coin up, examining its edges and markings. Though worn, the coin still bore the intricate design of an ancient emblem, one that they couldn't yet place but would surely spend hours researching later. "This could be from the 16th century, Rick mused, turning the coin over in his hands. "If there's one, there's bound to be more." Gary had already started scanning the area again, his detector squealing in bursts. "I'm tellin' ya, lads, we've hit a pocket of gold down here. Let's keep diggin'." Hours passed as the team uncovered more and more coins, each one adding to the ever-growing mystery of Oak Island. Were these the remnants of pirate treasure, or perhaps something older linked to the fabled Knights Templar? With each new discovery, the island seemed to whisper its secrets, but never quite loudly enough to answer all their questions. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows over the garden shaft, the team paused for a moment to take stock of their findings. By now they had unearthed nearly a dozen gold coins, each one more intriguing than the last. Yet it was clear that they were nowhere near the end of their search. The coins were a tantalizing clue, but they knew in their hearts that something even greater lay deeper still. "This is just the beginning," Rick said, his voice low but filled with conviction. "The treasure of Oak Island, whatever it is out there. And we're getting closer every day." Marty nodded in agreement, though his practical mind was already racing with the logistics of what came next. "We'll need to bring in more equipment, more experts. We can't stop now, not when we're this close." The rest of the crew, exhausted but exhilarated, gathered around the growing collection of artifacts. They had all felt it at some point. The sense that Oak Island had been holding onto its secrets for far too long, waiting for the right moment to reveal them. Perhaps today was that moment, or perhaps it was just a prelude to an even greater discovery. As they packed up their gear for the evening, the team couldn't shake the feeling that the garden shaft was key to unlocking Oak Island's greatest mystery. Gold had been found, yes, but it was more than just the coins that captivated them. It was the potential for what lay beneath, deeper and deeper, waiting to be unearthed. The curse of Oak Island had claimed many treasure hunters over the years, but the Laginas and their team were more determined than ever. They weren't just searching for riches, they were seeking answers to a puzzle that had baffled historians, adventurers, and dreamers for centuries. And now, standing on the edge of the garden shaft, with the glint of gold in their hands, they knew one thing for certain: the treasure was real. The early morning mist clung to the ground as the Oak Island crew gathered around the garden shaft.